Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again. You know, it has been one of the greatest ideals for me that individuals would care so much about themselves that they would want the best, and understanding that the only way that they could have the best is if the rest of the world wanted the best for them and committed themselves in being whatever they are, knowing that they would do it in such a way that the effect on any individual and every individual would be the best. And I see that as being like heaven on earth, peace and prosperity and dreams coming true. No lying, no cheating, no stealing. Oh man, I've spent about 40 years believing that stuff, and I really truly believe it now more than ever. But I was taking a little stroll with my dog today, kind of cold outside, and we were walking, and I began to think about love. What love is. You've heard the song by a wonderful, wonderful singer called What's Love Got to Do with It? And for some reason, as I walked thinking about how I wanted a beautiful world for us all and how far we were away from it, and how difficult it is to get those who would benefit from it to engage themselves in the process. And I began to think about love, what love is. Because having seen that, it gives you all of the reasons, all the motivations, just throw in the towel, throw your hands up and say, that's it. But then you realize, through the process of love, love has no end. I thought about when people get married, and I thought about this because I think we can all understand here. They take a vow. They take a vow before witnesses, and they take a vow before God, the spiritual God. And they sign on the dotted line that they would love, and you know the whole words, sometimes they create their own. But do they really know what they're doing? Do they know the extent of love? Oh yes, we say through sickness and health and poverty and all that kind of stuff. But do we really know what we're doing? Based upon the number of divorces, we can have to say that no, we don't. But I believe that it is because we don't know what love is. No one has ever really told us what love is. People talk that talk, but nobody does the walk. So we just choose whatever we want to fit in. Love is always. I think about if you have a significant other and you've taken these vows, you have said that there is nothing that you can foresee in the future, definitely nothing that you can see today, or in that to come, that would ever separate you. Because loving you is like loving God. And nothing will separate you from the love of God. For you together, along with love, represent God. Wow. Now I'm saying that to all of you people who are considering something about love. Because with that kind of love, let's just say a significant other have a stroke. Let's say the female was as gorgeous as you can imagine females to be, or men as handsome as you would imagine men to be. And here they are in the beginning of their marriage, in the beginning of having that relationship, and all of a sudden one of them have a stroke. And I'm talking about a stroke that was basically devastating. Now, being in love means this. If it is known by the one that got the stroke, the victim, that love would right away want to free the other from the responsibility of having to go through all that is necessary to go through to help maintain the victim, your lover, your spouse. And yet, the one who was victimless, the one who was healthy, maintained health, the love for the other would be so that they couldn't even imagine you leaving. It's like the opportunity to care for you, the opportunity to be there, to be whatever you need is the greatest love that they could feel and share at that moment. So nothing can happen to you to drive a lover away. A lover says, I thank God, you need me. And let's say you stay together for a long time. All the beauty goes away. and all of a sudden you become like a prune. You become more than a prune. You become ugly. Let's say downright disgustingly ugly. And that other one, I mean, love would say you the most beautiful. And not these are not just words. These are not just words. This is love speaking. You're the most beautiful and wonderful of them all. And mean it. And you will know that they mean it. And whatever you've gone through, if you've gone through wealth and poverty, if you've gone through health and sickness, and you've lived forever, that love is pure and genuine. Now, that goes to say, ladies and gentlemen, we know that we don't feel like that. There might be one or two people that come through life every now and then that feels that way about one another. Most of you can't stand each other. You'll break up over anything, or he'll say. The rest of you break up because you didn't bargain for that. You didn't want the responsibility, even though you said it. You didn't think it was going to happen. And you know, it's easy to find a reason once you realize that the love isn't there. And now you say what love is. This is the kind of love that is generated from the Creator to every human being on the face of the earth. The reason you're still here is because you're still loved. There's a power that loves you. The messages that you hear from people like me who are genuine. I'm not talking about these fakes because I ain't trying to get you to plant some seeds and get some money. But what you feel, that spirit that comes from this, and other things that you do. Sometimes you're just walking down the street, you see something, you hear something, and all of a sudden it speaks to some question, something that you've been fighting with, and there it is, right there in your midst, and you can recognize it because you're sincere about your endeavors. You're sincere about being genuine. And the spirit of love is there with you all the time. And when you run across those possible moments, they occur. And so love is not giving up. You see somebody say, well, how does God love us and allow us to die? Well, see, God, the way the world made, if you can even just think a little bit right now, if you can see a little bit, the life that you have is your choice. That makes it fantastic. It's not imposed on you. You choose it. There are a lot of people who make some choices that seems to be magnificent in the moment. They wouldn't change them for anything. But the fruit of it is a seed that comes later. And when it comes, it comes. It isn't God. It's what you call natural now. It's the natural order of things. The seed you plant determines the fruit you get. You shall reap what you sow. Good sometimes come back to you and you think it's so ugly, but it's the most sweetest thing when you're sincere about things. And you will know it. So what I'm basically saying to you is that God is still with you. But I don't want you to believe what you heard about this heaven thing. I'm not ever speaking to you about going to heaven, because I don't know anything about that. Everything I know about heaven is speculative. It's based upon what I have seen in this life, what I understand about spirit, and what I understand about God. Now, whether it's true or not, it's just my imagination. And I know it's wonderful, but I also know that God is much more wonderful than that. So what I like to focus on is the heaven that I ascribe about someplace else. I want to see it manifest right here. I want to see we the people, our dreams coming true. That's what it's all about with me. So to me, that's what love is. And what love has to do with it? Love has to do with whether you experience that peace or that hell. That's what love got to do with it. Bye-bye.